Okay, I wanted to do a quick update today on the red slime outbreak we had, or new tank syndrome, whatever you want to call it. It happened to me on my big tank, the 120, whenever we started it. You can view my previous video on this here. It was really slimed over really bad. And we're still not completely out of the woods yet. I forget when I made that video. I want to say it was a good 2 weeks or so ago. When you get this, you're going to generally seem like battle it for several weeks. It's very frustrating. You just got to hang in there. As you can see, I still have a little algae on the rocks. It was all over the rocks and sand and everything. It did lose a few corals from the deal. These corals are just now coming back around. They're starting to open back up. Some of the candy canes, as my friends have brought over, he's redoing his tank. They've just about killed them. I think they may make it. They're starting to come back around. Polys there, they're looking pretty good. They haven't been opened up like that for a while. It's my candy cane there, still has some algae floating on it. Frog spawn's finally starting to come back around and open up. And one Recordia back there. But I've been hesitant to put too many corals in here right for the time being until we get this under control. Started the GFO, had that going. The biopellet reactor is going on this thing as well. I think this probably got 4 or 5 fish in here. Just started all those things too late. It was already out of control before those things had a chance to really get the phosphates under control. And watch New York Stilo a lot, and like he says, if you've got algae, you got phosphates. So I think that's kind of what it boils down to. I was doing at least a 2-week water change on this. Since this has been going on, I've been doing a water change about every 7 to 10 days. So it's probably been closer to 3 weeks we've had this outbreak. Didn't have too much trouble. Some of these SPSs back here seems like they're still doing okay. Still got a lot of algae on the frag rack, which, like I say, I haven't been putting much in here. Just been a little leery of it. Stylophora I took out of the other tank. It was really struggling. I've always had trouble with those, but actually looks like it's starting to come back around and went out over the algae. But it's actually starting to look a little bit better. I used ChemiClean on it twice. I got that right over here. There's just ChemiClean on there. I've tried the other stuff. I forget the other brand that turns the water yellow. Seems like I've had better luck with this ChemiClean. I had to treat it a couple times though. I really kind of hate putting that type of chemical in there. I was worried about my amphipods and copepods down in the refugium. But it seems to be doing much better. Also trying a new product that Gateway Aquatics says they're having good luck with on the customer tanks, where they work on customer tanks. It's called Nopox, made by Red Sea, which Red Sea makes very good products. And it's supposed to help control your nitrate and phosphate. You're supposed to be able to take your GFO out of 2 weeks of use. Just started dosing with this just a couple weeks ago, dosing by hand. A little scared to hook it up to a pump. I said it's pretty intense. It will kill everything in here if you was to overdose. But it's a chemical that will actually helps break down your nitrates and phosphates, and your skimmer will pick it up. So something different. Like I say, I'm experimenting with it on this frag tank. Just to see if I could maybe use it in the 265 to keep from doing GFO in a biopellet reactor. I don't know. I probably will still set those up. I don't know. We'll just have to see. Sump's still doing very well. Actually took a big wad of microalgae out of there and gave to a friend of mine for his tank. He threw a couple rocks in for me. But everything's doing pretty good down here. The microalgae's really growing very well. But just a short update on it. When you do get the red slime, it's frustrating. You want to punch a hole in the tank. Just all I can say is just don't give up. It will go away. You just got to keep battling. Do the water changes, what my local fish stores told me. Stay up on the water changes. Do them a little more regular. I'm not sure really how my nitrate load could be that heavy. Of course, with the phosphate check I'm doing, I don't have a really good phosphate test, so it doesn't hardly show anything. But obviously there's algae, you have phosphate. So, and I probably overfeed these fish a little bit. I like to feed the corals too. Actually been using Coral Frenzy and Cyclopes. A little bit of Photo or Fido. Let me see here. I got it right here in the fridge. A lot of guys recommend using this stuff right here. Fido Feast. Shake it up, keep it in the fridge. Want these corals to grow, you really gotta try some things like that. Feed them right. The 120, everything's doing great. They were doing good in here until we got this algae outbreak, so it looks like we're starting to get it under control. But anyway, we'll do another update on this tank here in a couple more weeks and see if we've gotten rid of it. Getting ready to do a water change here again on it in just a couple of days. Took one of the lights